Murder Drones is an animated web series created by Liam Vickers and Glitch Productions. This was the studio's most popular hit till the Amazing Digital Circus came along and became the internet sensation it is now. As for Murder Drones, it's reportedly complete with its 8-episode run, and I thought it was a pretty good run. Taking place on a post-apocalyptic Earth where robot drones rule, Murder Drones reminds me a lot of classic 90s anime OVAs like The Guyver or Genocyber in both its pacing and contents. There really isn't a coherent story to follow, but that's okay because it's always moving onto one crazy new set piece in almost every episode, inspired by different kinds of horror movies like slashers, psychological thrillers, or even haunted houses. It's helped that the hot topic spooky atmosphere, lovable characters, and bits of hinted lore supplemented the tone the show's going for. I'm always in favor when a series does abnormal storytelling, and Murder Drones admittedly is hit and miss of it, mainly with stuff like the flashback episode telling you it's not a flashback until halfway through the episode. Honestly, this is a show that'll work better on multiple rewatches as you pick up more and more details than on your bewildered first viewing, which, given how short the series is, works in its favor. I found the character designs to be super appealing in the show. Big fan of robots and funny freaks, so I can tell ya these are some good looking robots and funny freaks, especially helped with the insane animation production value Glitch has. However, one of my big annoyances with the show was parts of the early writing, which felt the need to lampshade tropes and cliches half-heartedly when I feel like the show was already strong enough to let these moments breathe on its own. The quirky reference writing style does calm down later in the show, but it did scream a lack of confidence at first, which I kinda get, and I think this kind of dialogue works in retrospect of the main protagonist's character arc of becoming cringe but free. As for those main characters, Uzi starts off as a reckless recluse who's filled with rage against the world, but thanks to her friend, later boyfriend Ed, she starts to open up to others and ask them for help. And himself is challenged in his pre-existing loyalty to eventually stand up for his needs rather than the needs of others. These two have a very adorable dynamic with one another, and I found their relationship, especially when it got romantic, quite natural. The only other notable character is V, En's murderous buddy, who learns to be more trusting of others, but honestly the rest of the side cast is kinda weak as their own characters, which is fine. The main characters are strong enough to carry the series in my opinion, but it is a bit disappointing. I found Murder Drones to be a great example of what indie animation could be, not so much in its bar-raising production values, but in its very fun robot-killing content and strange pacing that not many mainstream studios would be in favor of. I don't think it has a lot of mainstream appeal as seen by a lot of its detractors, but that's okay because you can tell Liam and the crew are having a blast putting together all their niche interests into one cool show that so many people have found enjoyment in. I quite enjoyed Murder Drones. If you haven't seen it yet, give it a watch.